I've always had cats growing up. I've always found it really interesting. I think that their behaviour is really something that not a lot of people sort of understand, so it's really nice to be able to work with them and see their progression. Each cat is different, so it's really interesting to see how each cat differs from the other.
Their behaviour is just fascinating, and like Jen said, a lot of people don't know the ins and the outs of cat behaviour and why they do what they do. It takes a special kind of person to get the knowledge and the experience to socialise cats the way that we do.
Our Leave to Settle program is it's a behavioural program for animals, cats that come into the shelter, whether they come into us by humane cat traps or if they come into the shelter and they're particularly fractious or anxious or even scared. They go into a room that's in our cattery that's away from the public so that they can have some staff sort of one-on-one time.
So there's not one set of rules for every cat that comes in. We do separate behaviour modification plans for every individual cat because they all are so different and they display many different behaviours, sometimes together, sometimes not. So we do need to individualise that. That's very important for every cat that comes in.
There are 4 cats that were brought to us from a house that had up to 40 cats already in it. Their condition was pretty poor, so they were quite skinny, they had cat flu, they were severely matted as well. So they were suffering from cat flu, which is a really common illness when you have a large amount of cats congregating together. The symptoms of that include, but aren't limited to, they all had pretty sore eyes, a lot of discharge from their eyes, really red and inflamed. Sneezing, they were quite congested as well. Aside from the flu, they were also suffering from, they had hair loss and they had clumps of hair as well, so they were clearly trying to maintain their own coat, but unfortunately they couldn't just due to the nature of the environment that they were in.
None of them were showing any signs of aggression initially. They were just extremely fearful, so they were hiding a lot, and because they were quite hungry we started to bond with them over food. So there was a lot of laying on our tummies in really awkward positions, trying to entice them with food, which was how we started the bonding process. And slowly but surely they came out of their shells and they started to play with us. They showed lots of grooming behaviours, which was really great given the current conditions to start with. But it was all about time, and we did it at their pace, so there was no forcing of interaction or anything like that.
So not only were they quite sick and matted, but they also had, all of the cats had pretty poor dental condition as well. We had to do dentals on all of them, so pretty much all of them required extracting of a lot of teeth, unfortunately. But in the end, it was better for the cats. They were much happier. They could eat kibble finally. Like, we had to keep soaking their kibble and giving them wet food and everything. They weren't able to physically chew anything. So to see that was great. King, he was the first cat to actually come up to us and like approach us for attention, which was really nice. He was a very hoity-toity dude. He sort of ruled the roost. All of the cats sort of did what he wanted, even if they didn't want to do it. But no, he was great. He had a lot of personality. When he wanted to be, he was super affectionate and stuff too. But he was also just not afraid to be himself either. He was really cool.
Bishop probably took the longest to come around. He was a lovely boy. He took a lot longer for us to be able to touch him and to handle him. A lot of his progress is also going to be in his new home with his new family as well. He found the shelter quite scary, but he turned out really lovely in the end. Tsarina was always kind of in the middle. She was the first one that actually let me pat her, and she leaded the pats, which was really lovely. She followed the lead of the older boys as well a lot, which helped her in the end to get adopted.
It was, first of all, really sad to see them coming in the condition that they were, but then when they finally went up for adoption, their coat had grown back from all the matting and the fur that had fallen out. So they all had really nice, long, sleek coats, which was beautiful. They had begun to groom themselves again, which was really lovely. They started eating again, which was also really good because they had the poor dental health. And we helped sort of fix that. They were out of pain so that they could start to chew things again, which was really nice.